Uh-oh. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna get you, little girl. Say hi to everybody. Say hi to everybody, Bobby. Yeah, it's you. It's you. Yeah. You want to say hello? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody? Hello. Pepperoni Audits is first. Ishmael, Nick the Pick, AZ, and Filtered Oregon Amendment Checker, La Tongue Twister, See Something, Film Something, Veterans. Above all, Sharice Lane, That Way, Don Larson, CJ Grooming, Lenny, Chris White, My Generation. What's up, everybody? What's up? All right. Bam, 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 bam. All right. What's going on, everybody? Uh-oh. This is a boober boo. You were outside, weren't you? Yeah, it's cold. What's up, everybody? So, thanks for all the love, and thanks to the love you guys sent over to Allie's page. She texted me today. She was happy. She's like, "Oh, you sent me like 60 subs overnight." I'm like, "You have 143,000 on TikTok alone. Like, I sent you 60 subs." Happy to do it. Don't get me, don't get me wrong. But yeah. Yeah. Post her link again just for the heck of it. So if you guys haven't seen this yet, Sheriff Alex Villanueva. Whoops. Oh, the microphone's way out of the. Alex Villanueva had a press conference I think yesterday. This guy is so out of control. We're going to switch over. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Alex Villanueva. He is the Los Angeles County Sheriff. He is running for re-election. He is the epitome of a dirty cop. There are dozens upon dozens of sheriff's deputy gangs, like for decades, like over 50 years, like not like something new and, just unbelievable. So Los Angeles Sheriff Alex Villanueva denies targeting LA Times reporter even as he announces investigation into source of her story. Are you guys familiar with this story? Press 1 if you guys are familiar with, have seen the story. A bunch of you guys sent this to me. I mean, this guy is so out of control. It's not even funny. Go over to Allie's page and go tell her that every comment is going to cost her money. So that's my running joke with her, that I'm going to charge her. All right. So if you're unfamiliar with Villanueva, He also did a sweep of the homeless encampments around the city, which are LAPD. So if you're unfamiliar with how policing works, LAPD is within the city of Los Angeles, and then the sheriff's department covers the county of Los Angeles and unincorporated parts. And they do the city of West Hollywood. They have a contract with the city of West Hollywood because the city of West Hollywood is its own incorporated city, has its own mayor, its own government, and so forth. But they didn't feel the need to have their own police force, so they just made a contract with the Los Angeles County Sheriff's Department. So yeah, and so he went into LAPD territory and just started with like Venice Beach. And listen, I'm not saying that the unhoused community isn't troublesome and voluminous in LA, but there's got to be other ways of executing this. So yes, he installed a helipad near his personal home that an audit found that was not, they did not have the proper permits, but they want to bust our balls for a press pass, citing you're not media. Well, guys are above the law. All right, so there is a reporter from the Los Angeles Times, and I don't know how to pronounce her last name. It is of Armenian descent. Aline McMidian is going to be my best stab at it. He used a news. So let's just read this. So Defiant Sheriff Alex Villanueva today used a news conference to blast a variety of his opponents, both political and perceived, including election challenger Eli Vera, County Inspector General Max Huntsman, and Los Angeles Times reporter Aline Tukmidian, who broke an explosive story of an altercation involving the handcuffed inmate. Villanueva alleged today that the piece was potentially based on information stolen from the department. He listed 6 potential crimes involved, including burglary, theft, and conspiracy. So if you're unfamiliar with the story in question, there was an inmate that was handcuffed in the city of San Fernando that got into a physical altercation, and then the sheriff's deputy put a knee on the guy's neck for several minutes. This is right around George Floyd times. Alex Villanueva saw the video within hours and was like, we got to cover this up. And this LA Times reporter somehow got a copy of it and released it to the public, which went over like a fart in shirts with the criminal in charge, Alex Villanueva. He augmented the presentation with a blown up photo of the journalist, much as law enforcement officials are wont to do with suspects. Was that English? When explaining a case. Asked by media today if Tukmidian was under investigation, Villanueva said vaguely, quote, "The matter is under investigation," close quote. Another reporter pressed, "You, quote, you placed her picture up there and talked about it in terms of a criminal investigation. Is this Los Angeles Times reporter under investigation by the department?" Close quote. The sheriff replied, quote, "This is an act under investigation. All parties to the act are subject to investigation," close quote. He called the article clickbait and part of a hit parade by the LA Times. So he has received a huge amount of backlash. So let's check out this press conference. Kate Cagle, I follow her on Twitter. They embedded this.
Ailing from the LA Times under investigation by the department. The matter is under investigation. All right.
Is she under
the matter is under investigation. This is stolen property that was removed illegally from people who had some intent, criminal intent, and it'll be subject to investigation. We will not be the only party investigating this. There will be other agencies will also be thoroughly investigating this and monitoring what we're doing, and it will be handed over to the appropriate prosecutorial agency so they make a determination.
Sheriff, are you going to answer the question? You placed your picture up there alongside two other people. Talked about it in terms of a criminal investigation. Is this Los Angeles Times reporter under investigation by the department?
Well, the act is under investigation. All parties to the act are subjects of the investigation. Now, that's why we do investigations. We don't just walk away and say, oh, well, you know, oh, well, so sad. No.
Is she one of the parties?
Well, she received the information and then she put it to her own use. What she receives legally and puts to her own use, and what she receives illegally and or the LA Times use it, I'm pretty sure that's a huge, complex area of law and freedom of the press and all that. However, when it's stolen material, at some point you actually become part of the story. So that's up to the LA Times to decide that.
No,
Sir.
You should definitely answer the LA Times questions. I think we'd all agree with that here, but that's up to you.
This guy is such a criminal. It's unbelievable. Even more so than Sirius Black stealing pizzas off the counter. Yes, back in the day. No pizzas anymore. Not for you, sir. Yeah, you can't even like go use a restroom. He's like got that pizza down off the counter. So Los Angeles Times executive editor Kevin Merida issued a statement calling the sheriff's comments outrageous. Quote, Sheriff Alex Villanueva's attack on Aline Tekmedian's First Amendment rights for doing newsworthy reporting on a video that showed a deputy kneeling on a handcuffed inmate's head is outrageous, said Merida. His attempt to criminalize news reporting, that was my wall hacks for Call of Duty. His attempt to criminalize news reporting goes against well-established constitutional law. We will vigorously defend Tekmedian's and the Los Angeles Times rights in any proceeding or investigation brought by authorities. So if somebody leaks information to you as the reporter, the paper followed with a letter sent to Villanueva late today from its general counsel, Jeff Glasser. In it, Glasser lays out the legal precedents prohibiting such an investigation of a journalist and calling the move, quote, a thinly veiled attempt to intimidate Ms. Tekmedian for reporting unflattering but entirely accurate information about the conduct of individuals in your department and allegations of a cover-up by you and other officials, close quote. Late today, the sheriff backed off the bluster a bit, releasing a denial that reads, resulting from the incredible frenzy of misinformation being circulated, I must clarify at no time did I state an LA Times reporter was a suspect in a criminal investigation. We have no interest in pursuing, nor are we pursuing criminal charges against any reporters. We will conduct a thorough investigation regarding the unlawful disclosure of evidence and documentation in an active criminal case. The multiple active investigations stemming from this incident will be shared and monitored by an outside law enforcement entity. What should be of interest is the fact that LA Times refuses to acknowledge their reporting and the account of a disgruntled employee were thoroughly debunked during today's press conference. Look at this guy. This guy is such a criminal. Earlier in the day, however, Villanueva also went as far to allege collusion among the various players, all designed to derail his re-election bid. Quote, when you take this entire thing into context, you realize that there's a lot of people working in concert and in coordination, he said. That includes the LA Times. That includes people that obviously want to defeat me electorally. That includes the Board of Supervisors, appointed Inspector General, and the Civilian Oversight Commission. a lot of people working overtime, and they're doing it as best they can. So there'll be more of this nonsense thrown at me until June 7th, but it is what it is, close quote. Los Angeles County Supervisor Hilda Salas issued a statement saying she is calling on the state attorney general to investigate Villanueva for a, quote, pattern of unconscionable and dangerous actions like the one today, close quote, referring to the sheriff's penchant for calling news conferences with county resources to lash out at political foes. Quote, the latest attack on LA Times reporter Aline Tikmitian is another dangerous example of Sheriff Villanueva attacking the media and the First Amendment. Close quote, Salas said. Quote, this is in keeping with his past harassment of other women, including KPCC reporter Josie Wang and her, as well as myself and other county officials. Displaying Aileen's photo at today's press conference and making her appear as if she has committed a crime is not just an attack on Aileen, but the entire journalistic community. What's criminal is the sheriff's cover-up of deputies using excessive force against an incarcerated person, including kneeling on his neck for 3 minutes. What's not criminal, however, is Aileen and other journalists reporting on it, close quote. The LA Press Club issues its own statement saying it, quote, stands in solidarity with Los Angeles Times reporter Aline Tikmitian and all journalists who are threatened or harassed by law enforcement, close quote. It was signed by the Press Club and 20 other media-affiliated organizations. Earlier today, Villanueva denied all allegations contained in a damage claim filed against the county this week by one of his commanders, who asserts the sheriff was made aware of the incident involving the handcuffed inmate days after it occurred and lied when he claimed not to have seen the video of the altercation until months later. The sheriff blasted the claim Tuesday, calling it part of what he alleges is an orchestrated attack involving an election rival, the county's inspector general, and even a Los Angeles Times reporter, saying he is conducting a criminal probe to determine who leaked the reporter's surveillance video of the altercation. Quote, so the foundation of this entire lawsuit is false, close quote. Everything in this lawsuit is false. In the damages claim, which is a precursor to a lawsuit, Commander Alan Castellano contends that Villanueva and at least 3 other agency executives saw the surveillance video within days of the March 10, 2021 incident, and the sheriff said he would, quote, handle the matter, close quote. Nothing that the department did, quote, not need bad media at this time, close quote. Castellano said concerns were raised about the video of the altercation due to its similarity to the death of George Floyd, who died after a Minneapolis police officer knelt on his neck for more than 8 minutes, sparking national protests. The altercation, which was first reported by the Los Angeles Times, occurred at the San Fernando courthouse, where a 24-year-old inmate named Enzo Escalante allegedly punched Sheriff's Deputy Douglas Johnson in the face. Johnson and other deputies wrestled Escalante to the ground, with Johnson putting his knee on the inmate's head. Security video of the altercation shows Johnson keeping his knee on Escalante's head for 3 minutes after he was handcuffed, and it did not appear to be resisting. I'm going to repost this link. I'm not going to show you the video. You guys can see the video for yourselves of the incident. After the incident, Castellano wrote an internal report suggesting that officials within the department tried to suppress details of the video of the altercation, given its nature and similarities to widely publicized George Floyd use of force. In his new legal claim, Castellano claims that Villanueva orchestrated an effort to cover up the video and later took retaliatory action against people in the department who raised questions about the effort or challenged that the commander called in an attempt by the sheriff to change the timeline of when he first viewed the video. Villanueva last month denied he was involved in any type of cover-up, insisting that he did not see the video until November, when he immediately ordered that the deputy involved be relieved of duty, that a criminal investigation be initiated. The sheriff conceded that an internal criminal investigation should have been started immediately after the incident, concurrent with the administration probe, but it didn't happen, something he blamed on errors in judgment by others in the department. Villanueva reiterated that the timeline Tuesday, again denying any type of cover-up or retaliation. When it quote, when it comes to cover-ups or whistleblowers, I don't see what was covered up or what whistle was blown, because that's a mystery, close quote, he said. County Undersheriff Tim Murakami, who is also alleged in the claim to have seen the video days after the incident in March 2020, also denied the allegation. Villanueva called Castellano, quote, a disgruntled employee, close quote. Castellano contends in his damages claim that despite the sheriff's assertion that the deputy involved was relieved of duty in November, that actually didn't happen until December 7th. Castellano also claims he was subjected to an internal investigation after raising concerns about handling of this matter, was reprimanded for lapses in how the case was handled, despite his insistence that he brought the case to the sheriff's attention within days. So, yeah, totally nuts. This is a criminal sheriff. Absolutely criminal behavior by Sheriff Alex Villanueva. Unbelievable. I mean, if you have the audacity to put a reporter's face up there and say that everybody there is under investigation, and then deny it when people start calling you out, unbelievable. All right, let's check out the comments. Yeah. I don't even want to know what's going on with Johnny F.A.'s here. I pay good money for knees on my neck. Yeah, I was in his Mr. Checkpoint live earlier, so. Johnny opens up areas questionable cause politicians trying to remove our privileged lifestyles, in other words. Yeah. Yeah. Just wacky. Where are my trolls tonight? Absolutely, Don. I love the fact that, so that information, that security footage of the incident is private and privileged. Unbelievable. Amber, what's up? Lenny, you want to come on the panel? How many beers in are you, Lenny? Do you even drink? You're Scottish, so I'm just kind of assuming. I don't want to, offend. So, listen, I don't know that much about journalistic privileges and so forth, but I'm pretty sure that that a journalist does not need to give up confidential sources. I don't know. Sirius Black is pacing. Hi. You'll go sit over in your bed? Yeah, sit down. Lie down. Good boy. Now that was Renee Villanueva, which was in Dallas. It was not Sheriff Villanueva, the same very, very common last name. Ohio Steve. Thank you, Johnny F.A. So the comment super chats are enabled, which is cool. Ross Kahn blew them up earlier. I got more Starbucks today. Nitro cold brew. I don't even know what's in it other than coffee and nitrous nitrogen night. What? Shield Act protects journalists. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I listen, I am like the first one. When I know something, I will dig my heels in. When I do not know something, I will not. I know that. So absolutely glad that the LA Times is standing behind them. Charles Murray, what's up? Tapatios, what's up, man? You went to a Starbucks, or you went to this Starbucks for the first time, or did you go to a Starbucks in general for the first time? You're opening an account in the Cayman Islands for the YouTube donos. No, I'm willing to pay my taxes. Did a new super post thingy. It's easy. Thank you very much, Lenny. I don't know what video you're talking about. So you've never been to a Starbucks? Hi, Silver Diamond. I think Silver Diamond was the troll. Yeah, there was a bunch of people that did stories on it today, and I think we're going to need to have a coffee intervention with Ohio Steve. Is that the video that was circulating a little while ago where they arrest the guy's dad? I'm pretty sure that where the 15-year-old like kind of schools the cops. I would say yes, Fashe. What's up? Toronto, Canada. Charles Murray. Take off, eh? So this Charles, the street that's Is it Pape Street or is it Pape Street? P-A-P-E in Toronto? How is that pronounced? Denver Metro, what's up, dude? I think we need to get Ohio Steve out. I think Ohio Steve needs to leave the house a little more often. Boom, 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 boom. Dude, you gotta have the caramel crunch Frappuccino 20 ounce with whipped. That's all I'm saying, man. All I'm saying. Is it pronounced Pape? One syllable? By the way, we Canadians don't say A. That is bullshit. You say sorry all the time. Sorry. Thank you, Sarah Tay. $5 super chat. Johnny Fosse. Yeah, he's out of control. Ross Khan, thank you for the super chat comments or whatever the hell the thing's called that you did today. Appreciate you. Oh, no. 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 One more comment like that and you are perma-banned. I'm just... Oh. No, I do not like coffee. I really do not like coffee. I like the effect of coffee. So I have so much cream, so much so being on keto, I've got the liquid stevia and the heavy whipping cream. And so it's like a fucking 1,000 calorie. It's not good. So it's like a meal replacement. Dark Star, what's up? Thank you very much, man. SPJ, Code of Ethics, members of Society of Professional Journalists believe the public enlightenment is the forerunner of justice and foundation of democracy. I would concur very much with that statement. Lenny, you gonna come on? Who wants Lenny to come on here? Dude, Fashe, you're lucky you're a mod. That's all I'm saying. I also put that like cocoa powder in my coffee too. Very good antioxidant. Dude, you got to Tapatios, you got to drink past that, bro. You got to drink past the tachycardia. What's up? I would agree with that. Very much so, El Coro. That with liquid stevia. Why are we pressing one? Who's doing a poll? Or was that me asking if Lenny wants to come in? I don't know. I discombobulated. I do not know. I'm not sure. Juanito Coffee Cocaína. Orale. So I'm going to post Allie's link in the chat. Go leave her a comment with a $sign or something that says cha-ching. Because my inside joke is that I'm going to charge her for all the comments that I bring to her page. Fucking Lenny. All right. Walla Walla, Washington, you're on the air. Snooze, you lose, man. Like, dude. I mean, I forget which there was a famous Jewish deli in Manhattan, and you would walk up to the counter and they'd be like, "What do you want?" If you were like, they were like, "Next." They went to the next person. Thank you to all the female subscribers. My YouTube analytics for the last 4 years is 95% male. So go.
It's bad.
Hello.
I don't know. I don't know what that means.
Hello.
Shoot, I've been following Johnny for 5 years or more, probably.
Dude, I've only had my channel for 4, so you're way ahead of the curve. I appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So not a lot to say, but thank you for the discombobulated. I didn't know that you were female. Thank you for the femininity. Johnny Fabo live. Check out Albuquerque audit. Second to last video. It's insane. He could use help. That is way too much. Can you email me that? Oh. Oh. Oh my God. I don't even know what to say, Johnny Face. You guys saw Silence of the Lambs, right? You know who he's referencing, right? Dude, Buffalo Bill was the serial killer in Silence of the Lambs, and he's the one that does the scene. He's puts the lotion in the basket, and he does the scene. What song is that? Like Spandau Ballet? I don't even know what track. It's some 80s track. Yeah, it puts the lotion on the skin. Yes. So I am okay. What's everybody think about Elon Musk buying Twitter? You guys think it's a good thing? Press 1 if you think it's a good thing. Press 2 if it scares you. You guys think it's a good thing? Somebody come on here and click on the link. Somebody come on here and tell me why you think it's a good thing. Friends and code, does that mean you don't answer questions or polls? Lot of ones. Do you guys honestly think so? Hold on. No, Pamela G. Free speech only pertains to the government. So there was a California Supreme Court case where somebody, a YouTuber, was citing freedom of speech on the YouTube platform. And the California Supreme Court came in and said, YouTube, there's no free speech on YouTube. It's a private business. It is not the government. You have no free speech rights on social media. Yes. Exactly, Samson. I could do a real poll, like poll work. Larry, I don't really tweet either, but it's a far bigger picture just because I'm not an avid Twitter user. Thank you, Polyglocks, with the new link. Yeah, I got semi-banned on TikTok. They are horrible over there. There we go. Friends and code.
What up, Johnny?
What's up, man?
Not much, man. So, Musk buying Twitter. Good thing or a bad thing? Question, right?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be an interesting thing. I think it's going to actually prove to be a positive thing.
Okay. How so?
Well, one of the things, if he does actually have the ability to, buy it outright and take it private, right? To me, it seems like, I think that it'll give more options to have a better conversation on there without getting slapped with like what you do in YouTube with all of the, Wikipedia links and you might be this or you might be that tags that they give you. So,
Okay.
you know,
Well, what about Russian propaganda? What about hate speech? What about, I don't know. I mean, what about,
what about American propaganda?
Oh, listen, we're the best at it.
I'm telling you. But
I mean,
so every system out there has the opportunity for that type of infiltration, right? I mean,
yeah,
you know how easy it is to get an account on, a lot of these systems,
yeah.
right? And most of them don't care, if you're human or, something just typing into it. So, I think that self-moderation is not a solution either, right? I mean, look at every AI that they've let the internet try to play with, it's always turned out bad. Microsoft had one. It didn't take 2 days, 3 days, and they had to turn it off.
Which one? What was that? What did Microsoft do?
Hold on, I'll pull it up.
What did they do?
Microsoft actually had an AI that they were trying to, feed it.
Oh, right.
Just feed it public information, right?
Right.
And it became a racist bigot really quick.
Shocking.
Oh, and I mean,
well, I mean, what if I don't know. I mean, I just think
what if he buys it and turns it all off?
Well, I mean, that's his prerogative. I mean, I really have a hard time believing that billionaires, first of all, the amount it's you are so desensitized when you're a billionaire and you've been entitled to so much in your life. You're really out of ideas. You're really out of things that provide you pleasure and joy. So you spend $43 billion on buying, like you just, where does it end? So even regardless of what he does with it, I'm just very suspect that billionaires, if anybody thinks that billionaires have the little people in mind and are looking out for them, I got a bridge to sell you.
Yeah, no kidding. Middle of Arizona, matter of fact.
Yeah.
Sweet. But no, I would completely agree. You don't reach that that level of monopoly, right? By being generous. But at the same time, with the way that some of these platforms just willy-nilly turn over information, right?
Right.
Whether it's Facebook or whether it's YouTube or whether it's done through the legal channels or whether it's done through just pure scraping, right?
Pamela G, if you're afraid of hearing something, you need to go hide in your closet. Pamela G, what if somebody posted your home address and all of your kids' information and all of your information on Twitter? I mean, if it's a public forum and we can post anything.
I mean, what do you think, though? I mean,
I really am suspect of billionaires, and Bill Gates buying up all of this farmland, all of these corporations in air quotes buying up houses.
Yeah.
If you don't think that the billionaires are trying to buy up houses on the market in major markets so that no one will ever be able to afford a house, I was watching this guy, what's this, Noam Chomsky, and he was talking about how capitalism has consumed itself. He's like, so you start paying your employees fewer wages. And at some point, they can't afford, if you're on an assembly line making cars, at some point, your workers can't afford the product that they're making.
Right.
And then he said, but in the 1970s, they, meaning the billionaires, invented credit. And credit cards, which were only by, high-end businessmen. Now
Right.
everybody and their brothers got credit cards through the 80s, 90s, and onwards. You've got a mortgage on your house. You've got
College.
student loan debt. That's the new scam where you're $1.50, $200,000 in debt that you're never going to get out of.
Nope.
And they control you. You
Legalized slavery.
Absolutely. So the point is I think all of these billionaires are working in concert for a far darker, bigger picture. So that's the point that I mean, we haven't really seen what the ramifications are going to be by this. So disturbed. I mean, they're if Gen Zs think that they are ever going to be able to purchase a house, you are delusional. You know what I mean? Like it's, and the fact that these corporations are buying thousands and thousands of homes per month in major markets
for your house.
Yeah.
You've seen signs everywhere.
Yeah, you got a beater house that's all the other houses are going for $650 and this one we're selling for fucking $400. All right, we'll give you $500 cash.
Yeah.
And
it was beater cars in the 80s though, wasn't it? And then it went to beater houses. Same repeat advertisement. Just changed the object.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just very suspect of, I mean, none of these billionaires have us in mind. If they were building the ark, we are not on the invite list.
Are you saying that we're at the back of the train that's going around in the circle in the snow?
Yes, we're lucky we're even on the train, so.
Fair enough.
I'm just saying that, I don't know what the bigger picture is on Elon Musk of what it's going to manifest into and develop into. I just do not. There's nothing about it that feels good. So,
are you thinking Zorg?
What's that?
From Fifth Element? Zorg?
I didn't see that movie.
Oh, so Zorg was the mega corporation. Right, that owned everything, taxis, the whole. I mean,
right,
the air that you breathe, and
sure.
And to pay the stockholders, fire $1 million, right, was one of the major lines in it.
Yeah. I mean, and the people being broke being the new normal, and payday loans and all this other stuff for like poor people, and just it's unbelievable, and I was watching somebody that was talking about they were like, oh, and if you think you're going, there's a real estate bubble that's about to burst, but if you think that when it bursts you're going to be able to purchase a home finally, you are delusional, because all of a sudden now the Fed has raised interest rates, so the only people that will be able to capitalize on the next implosion will be millionaires, billionaires, and corporations.
Right, because corporations are people too.
Wow, ask Mitt Romney. That was the scariest thing I've ever. I mean, unbelievable.
You know,
Unbelievable.
the most simplest saying that gets to me today is we did it to ourselves.
No, we didn't.
You don't think so? You think there's master puppet controllers that are
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? The Rockefellers, the Morgans.
Oh no!
What?
Yeah, I'm busting your balls.
Oh, okay, dude. You were gonna be permabanned.
No, Rockefellers, indeed. You know, I mean, I always heard it paid to be, good friends of the Clintons.
All of them, man.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I don't know.
The credit thing is the most horrible thing that I've ever seen in my life.
I had never even thought of that concept, that capitalism had really painted itself into a corner. And if you lower the wages enough that your workers are not going to be able to buy your product, well, where do we go from here? Credit.
So
I remember,
sell
dude.
your
Okay,
time.
I remember getting a phone call to my parents' house when I was living at my parents' house, and they were like, "Oh, is John Olson there?" And I was like, "Junior or senior?" You know what they said?
Huh.
Doesn't matter. Hi, I'm Nancy. I'm with MBNA America. They sent me a $5,000 card and a Visa card and a $2,500 MasterCard, sight unseen at age 24. No credit history whatsoever under my belt.
Here you go. What was the APR on that shit? Probably in the 12s.
Oh yeah,
13s.
Easily.
I mean, some of them are like at 23% now.
Oh yeah, I mean that's
the system is not designed for you to dust yourself off and come up.
Oh, exactly. It's to keep everybody down. I guarantee you that there's cures for so many illnesses that are out there, but it's a lot easier to keep people sick. It's more profitable to keep people sick. Yeah, it just, what's interesting too, and this is something that I heard on TikTok, because I thought TikTok was just a bunch of like a teenager app and shit, and there's plenty of ridiculous stuff on TikTok. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But when you start clicking the hearts and things like, it takes about 2 weeks for the algorithm to really kind of tune into what you like.
Yeah, and start showing you shit.
Yeah, and stuff that you dig, and I don't watch any of the police accountability stuff because it's just too heartbreaking, and it's all a broken record. It's all the same. You know what I mean? Like I can't watch that stuff.
That's exactly why I use TikTok, is to get away.
And there was a point brought up, and somebody said, they said, when people ask you what you do for a living, what they're really doing is they're trying to gauge how much respect they're about to give you in this conversation. Right?
Yeah, fair enough.
You tell somebody you're a trial lawyer, versus, somebody that does Uber Eats full time.
Yeah.
They're going to treat you differently.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
But that's part of the end stage capitalism, that we are defined by our fucking careers. One of the things, I got plans to possibly vacate the U.S. in a few years. And there's all these expats talking about living in New Zealand, Australia, Europe, and they say, one of the faux pas that Americans, you do not ask people what they do for a living. That's not one of the first things out of your mouth. That is a more intimate conversation with people.
Yeah.
And nothing screams, I'm an American who's involved in end stage capitalism, then what do you do for a living? You know, that's all we equate. That's where all of our stock is, of like, what do you do? What do you contribute? You know, and let's face it, you know, you're going to work till you're 70 years old. You're going to get a couple years off, and then you're going to die.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the American dream. And the American dream now is to, I think, leave the United States. I don't know. I just don't think. And also one of the biggest problems with the United States is that all we're surrounded by are other people, other Americans. The problem with America, it's filled with Americans, and we're not.
No, really.
We have no. Yeah, I heard that in Canada, and you'll never hear that inside the United States. You know, and we have no sounding board. We don't have Germans and people from the Swiss and Swedish and Italians and these different cultures and countries to be like, what's wrong with you? And I saw this one TikTok where they were like, what Americans think of Florida, that's what the rest of the world thinks of America.
Damn.
And it is some of the most. And the same thing. What is one of the biggest digs that anybody can throw at people that film police? What's the most common dig that you see? You live in your mother's basement.
Or what job do you have?
Exactly. End stage capitalism. Go get a job, or you live in your mother's basement. All of which have to do with your position in capitalism. So if you don't have a job, you're nothing. If you happen to live at your parents' house and you're helping out with your elderly parent, you are nothing, because you're not contributing. You're not throwing coal on the locomotive. And that is end stage capitalism. I'm going to post the link in the chat. Fight me. You know, and like I said, somebody was on YouTube or TikTok saying, you know why Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos are not in here defending this level of ridiculous wealth? Because all of you peons are here fighting their battle for them.
Right.
Citing how great capitalism is and how great, you know, if you only work hard enough. I saw a fucking meme that was like, you know why Elon Musk bought Twitter? Because he didn't spend $5 a day at Starbucks. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Your avocado toast. I mean, it is end stage capitalism, and capitalism is absolutely going to implode upon itself. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Something's got to give, though. I agree.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not going to be pretty. Alcor accountability. Thanks to the super chat. F Sheriff Villanueva, all he does is deny LASD gangs, is cover ups and misconduct. Exactly. Yeah, he is one of the worst. Like, just over. He says that the gang, the sheriff deputy gangs, are social groups.
Social groups?
Yes. No,
like they're going out and having tea,
like a car club.
Oh.
You know, and you know, they hang out and watch football and baseball together. And
are you talking like those motorcycle clubs?
No, not even that extreme. Just like
wow.
You know.
Hey, we're gonna go bowling together type club.
Pamela G, I expect everyone to support themselves. Again, end stage capitalism. If you can't, you're on your own and you deserve to die. That's what capitalism says. Whether you're not, you believe that or not.
If you don't believe it, go to a casino.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's Stockholm syndrome.
Huh.
We are completely apologizing for the billionaires that are doing what they do. Other countries in the world, Pamela, have safety nets. And I love the part when people say, countries in Europe, you pay 50% in taxes. Well, you know what? After your emergency surgery, after your car wreck, and you have to go do a GoFundMe. Do you understand how people in the rest of the world, will somebody outside of America please chime the fuck in this panel? Like, come on this panel. Do you understand how Americans are laughed at? And like, wait, what the hell is a GoFundMe? You have a GoFundMe page because you got into a traffic accident? What? You guys don't have safety nets in place? So the 50% tax rate, oh my God, socialism, it's the worst thing in the world. You pay 50%. If you do all the math on what capitalism, on what you pay, so I pay for health insurance. And then every time I go to the doctor, I pay. And then every time I use the doctor, I pay. And every time everything else, I pay for every service for a service that I pay for. Is anybody hearing the insanity? We are one of the only countries that doesn't have a safety net of healthcare. And people in this chat will defend it and say, you know what? If you can't afford healthcare, then you deserve to be on the streets. And I support Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk and everything that they do.
Oof, that's a scary statement.
It is. It is.
Hey, what's up, guys?
You're on the air.
Hey, I just wanted to get into that conversation where you guys were talking about how your job status is what level of respect you are or that you get. So I'm a head shop employee. Immediately, I'm part of the fucking problem. You know, it's sad, but at the same time, I cop watch in my my free time when I feel like it, and everybody screams at me, "Get a job." I work 40 hours a week. Well, what do you do for a living? I work in a head shop. Oh, you're just a fucking paraphernalia pusher.
Yeah, you're a professional stoner.
Yeah, that's what the fuck. I mean, I am, but
I was gonna say, just don't be hating.
It doesn't
Right.
matter. One of the things that I've seen from people and the expats that move overseas or anywhere is the work-life balance.
Oh, yeah.
When was the last time anybody in America went out for a 2.5 hour lunch and just shot the shit with people? Like,
or even a siesta.
Yeah.
Right? Not like, oh my God, I got to get back. I got to get back to work. I got to get back. I mean, look at America look at corporate America trying to get everybody back to their cubicle after the zombie apocalypse. And nobody wants to go.
Yeah,
Right.
damn right they don't want to go.
They want to it's a lot easier to control people when you're standing over them.
Yeah. If you sensory deprive them of anything that's shiny, you can drive more, what you would believe to be productivity out of the masses.
Yeah.
But
Right.
that's why you need 10, QA people to check, one person's worth of work.
Yeah. I watched maybe we'll watch a snippet of Europeans reacting to medical bills. There's a British guy and he's like, I'm not being cheeky, but what is a copay? Like seriously, like actual question.
Right.
What is a copay? I do not know what that word means. Oh, that means you pay for insurance, and then when you go use your insurance, you have to pay again.
Yeah.
That's what for anybody outside of the United States that are
Wondering what the fuck.
Yeah, Elon
Right.
Musk.
What we
Elon,
have to go through.
Elon Musk's family was part of apartheid, which is slavery. Let's call it what it is.
Right.
Apartheid is a Dutch word. I'm pretty sure it means slave. I don't know what it means in Dutch, but it is slavery in South Africa, where the ruling whites. That's where Elon Musk got his money. So yeah, all of these people. Jeff Bezos got $300,000 loan plus a bunch of other rich people that he hung. Like, none of these people are self-made people. Donald Trump, I got a small loan of $1 million from my father. What,
You know what the biggest loan I got was?
In the 70s? You know what $1 million was in the 70s? Because Donald Trump's been around for fucking. If I'm from New York, Donald Trump is as New York comes. I'm getting heated.
Damn, Johnny, I thought you lived in the California state, but stay there, homie.
Yeah, I mean,
no.
My brother lives in Germany. He's being paid at least 6 months' wages to stay home and rest after knee surgery, which he didn't have to pay anything for. Does any American hear that? Okay, it's either Belgium or Denmark. I think it's Denmark. When you as a couple become pregnant, you both get time off immediately. Your wife doesn't have to work from that point on. You are given an au pair for, I think, at least 2 years, and your wife gets paid for 2 years, and the husband like 6 months or something ridiculous. They allow you to actually rest and bond with your child, your newborn child.
That is crazy. Shit, here is.
Oh, we were in the greatest land of America. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, only if only the woman is working when she's pregnant and she has the baby. If she don't go right back to work, or the father doesn't go right to work, they lose it all. That's crazy to me, because I have a friend who personally, she had an emergency C-section done, and within 4 days of that, she was back at work.
Yep.
And the way I feel about that is she shouldn't even been out of the fucking hospital bed when she went back to work. God, that's crazy to hear that.
Hell, even our friends to the north got it better.
Okay, yeah. You guys ready for a 2-minute video? Watch this.
I got my popcorn.
Yep.
Swedish cops make an arrest on the New York City subway. This is like a decade old.
I got problem on. Take it easy. I got problem on, sir. Yeah, you have problem. Calm down. Calm down. Calm down.
Look at that. The guy is sitting up. There's no knee on the neck. There's no guns drawn.
I don't see any punches being thrown.
They've got them in submission holds.
Murdering him. Let me go. That's what I told you. That guy has to go to the hospital.
And then they ask them, "Are you okay? What do you need? Can we get you some water?" I mean, you know. But if you're not, if you're not with it, then you're anti-American. So,
yeah, there was a lot of anti-American whiplash, pistol whips not going on in there.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me see.
So I said I didn't see any punches being thrown. I didn't hear any screaming, like raging or. God.
All right, hold on a second. All right. Here's another video. This is the true cost of U.S. healthcare shocks the British public.
10 grand for a baby.
Is there a price for that?
Yes,
Jeez, $100, $100.
$2.5 grand.
$80.
600.
250.
More.
Shut the fuck. £300. $600. $600.
Yeah. Ambulance call out. How much do you think that costs?
Zero payment.
Zero payment.
Yeah, zero payment.
No, it costs $2,500.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
you look. An inhaler.
$100.
Yeah, you're pretty close. A bit more.
120
250 to 350.
for an inhaler.
Yeah.
Man, so if you're poor, you're dead.
I know that it's like public healthcare in the UK. In the US, fortunately, I'm able to get healthcare through my parents, their jobs, but like I carry an EpiPen, and I know that like the cost of that has just been rising. So like there's like very few companies that even compete. So it's sort of like a monopoly for the EpiPen. Even though like we have insurance, it cost my parents about a couple hundred, even with insurance.
So 2 EpiPens. How much do you reckon they are?
$80.
600.
$40.
I'm afraid not.
More?
More?
$100.
More.
150.
More.
250.
More.
Shut the fridge.
More.
£300.
Double it.
$600. What? Why?
That's a very good question.
$600.
Why?
Right.
Well, it cost me $900 for 6 stitches in the palm of my left hand.
I told you I had I've talked about this in the chat before. I have a friend of mine who was out hiking in Los Angeles. There's a lot of mountains and you know, she got bit by a rattlesnake. Some of you might remember the cost. What was her dollar amount for her hospital visit for a rattlesnake bite in America?
Did she get venom treatment as well?
Yes.
I'd say around 12 grand.
Oh, I think 25 to 30.
All right, chat. Brahmer says 180,000. Michael says 22,000. Darkstar says 45,000. David S says 100,000. DJ Plas says 100 grand. 12 grand, 15 grand. 60K. 200,000 says Misty. Who's the Canadian? Lacey R 65,000. Willa Wright says 250,000. Real Pollyanna says 220,000. 50K, 18.5, 92, 265. Sarah Tay, was it the snake's fault? Yes. You guys ready? $435,000.
Jesus fucking Christ.
$435,000. So tell me again.
Did she get bit by the black mamba?
Tell me again how expensive it is to pay 50% of your money to health insurance that doesn't. That you have
was the snake related to Putin?
Jesus.
I mean, fuck.
$435,000.
And it's not like you can really shop that around, you know? I mean,
yeah.
Time is kind of the essence in that situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Man.
Okay, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do another
Were they able
video.
to save the appendage that was bit?
Yeah, it was her leg.
Yeah.
All right, hold on 1 second.
If healthcare is a constitutional right, then that's a form of communism because no country could afford those payments without seizing the sense of everybody else.
Welcome to Finland.
Oh my God, we're the laughing.
The United States is the only wealthy nation without universal health care. That is a fact.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Dudes, what's going on?
this is what the actual world thinks about America and a healthcare system. Sorry to disappoint all you capitalist apologists.
Oh my God. It's making me so mad.
I mean, come on, guys. It's not that hard. Look around the world. Everyone else seems to have figured it out, right? Imagine you're in America. Which of these options would be best for you?
That's that's a lot to think about.
What is an OOP max?
I guess with what I got here, I would go with Plan D because the deductible is 0.
Okay, there's more.
Gold, HMO, PPO, HMO.
And what are copays? I don't get. That's like if you pay for Spotify Premium and Spotify still makes you pay every time you listen to a song.
It's too complicated.
I'm lost. I'm so lost.
In Canada, I don't have to
I'm
really
one of
think
them.
of, different plans that I could pick from.
You just pay one amount per month and all the major treatments are covered.
At least 70% of our medical expenses are always covered.
Uninsured, unable to afford treatment for a tooth infection that keeps flaring up.
Oh.
Cook Emma Rittner lost her job in March.
I did manage to get antibiotics from a friend whose mom regularly goes down to Mexico, and I've been taking that self-medicating based off of Dr. Google's advice.
Dr. Google's advice.
Here in Japan, even if you lose a job, you would never lose your health insurance.
When you lose your job, that's when society should help you.
I've chosen a creative job and had the backing of a healthcare system. But if you don't have that, do you pick the safe job or do you pick the creative job?
The average price per unit for insulin in 2018.
Germany, $11.
Canada's $12. Wow. It's like 8 times the price of insulin in Canada. I guess that explains why Americans come up to Canada to buy medication.
I'm sorry, hold on. So the FDA doesn't have any authority over the prices?
We have also privatized health insurance companies in Germany, but the prices are regulated by the government.
The government negotiates the prices and fixes that price for 2 years.
In Singapore, they regulate the stuff to keep the prices down and, avoid like this happening.
Jesus.
Right, so I'm looking at an American medical bill.
Why is it so expensive?
$428,000 for rooms and such empty spaces. What?
Much cheaper to go Hilton Hotel than this one.
Skin to skin after C-section is $39.
I had to pay $39.35 to hold my baby after he was born. You need to pay money to hold a baby?
My brother Jamie, who's in a lot of our videos, was pretty badly injured. He's going to lose a couple fingers. If you can give $1 or if you can give $5, every little bit will help him and his family.
That's heartbreaking.
GoFundMe should not be something that people have to resort to pay for their medical bills.
Right?
So, yeah, it goes on and on and on. And actually, I saw one which was 2 doctors from the UK, and they were like, okay, so somebody comes in and they have this procedure. How much does that cost? Actual doctors that know the price of things and they're throwing out numbers, and of course they were just horrifically underbidding. So, but no, I mean, listen, I don't know, man. I just think we don't get out much. We don't have a lot of interaction with people from other cultures and other countries to really slap us in the fucking face and be like, dude, what is wrong with your system, dude? Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? There's something really wrong here. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like that medical bill they showed, that's the craziest thing is the highest listed item amount on that was just the room and board. And if you look at the numbers that were on that bill, it was $428,000 to, I think it was 63,000 was what the next highest number was.
Yeah, there's the link to the video that I just posted. Yeah, I mean, and here is the video prior, which was just people in the UK when they were asking like the price for EpiPens and so forth. So, yes, medical illness, #1 reason for bankruptcy in the US. Listen, if you can keep people poor, you can keep them under control.
Yeah.
You guys are missing. You guys are missing the bigger picture here, man. Yes, doctors get kickbacks from pharma. Of course they do.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, $40,000 to have a kid in California, 2-day stay. You're lucky you even get a 2-day stay after having a kid.
You're right.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying that this end stage capitalism is it's gonna hit. You know, I think I'd like to get out of America before the guillotines break out, because that's what. There you go, Anastasia. Healthy isn't profitable. Of course not. And America has. I mean, am I totally off base to say that America, that we are completely isolated? We've got Canada to our north. We've got Japan off the west coast. We've got Europe and so forth off the east. I mean, by a great distance. We have Mexico to our south. Yeah.
It's just, God, that's wild when you think about it like that. But you say you want to go before the guillotines drop. Where's it going to be safe at?
I have no clue. How do you get rich in socialism? Okay, you can listen. You can apologize for capitalism all you want. There's the levels of income inequality that have increased in the last 20 years is unbelievable. Hold on just one second. All right, let's see this.
Saw recently that I can't get out of my head. There's a chart I saw recently that I can't get out of my head. A Harvard business professor and economist asked more than 5,000 Americans how they thought wealth was distributed in the United States. This is what they said they thought it was. Dividing the country into 5 rough groups of the top, bottom, and middle 3 20% groups. They asked people how they thought the wealth in this country was divided. Then he asked them what they thought was the ideal distribution. And 92%, that's at least 9 out of 10 of them, said it should be more like this. In other words, more equitable than they think it is. Now, that fact is telling, admittedly, the notion that most Americans know that the system is already skewed unfairly. But what's most interesting to me is the reality compared to our perception. The ideal is as far removed from our perception of reality as the actual distribution is from what we think exists in this country. So ignore the ideal for a moment. Here's what we think it is again. And here is the actual distribution. Shockingly skewed. Not only do the bottom 20% and the next 20%, the bottom 40% of Americans barely have any of the wealth. I mean, it's hard to even see them on the chart. But the top 1% has more of the country's wealth than 9 out of 10 Americans believe the entire top 20% should have. Mind-blowing. But let's look at it another way, because I find this chart kind of difficult to wrap my head around. Instead, let's reduce the 311 million Americans to just a representative 100 people. Make it simple. Here they are: teachers, coaches, firefighters, construction workers, engineers, doctors, lawyers, some investment bankers, a CEO, maybe a celebrity or two. Now let's line them up according to their wealth. Poorest people on the left, wealthiest on the right, just a steady row of folks based on their net worth. We'll color code them like we did before based on which 20% quintile they fall into. Now let's reduce the total wealth of the United States, which was roughly $54 trillion in 2009, to this symbolic pile of cash. And let's distribute it among our 100 Americans. Well, here's socialism, all the wealth of the country distributed equally. We all know that won't work. We need to encourage people to work and work hard to achieve that good old American dream and keep our country moving forward. So here's that ideal we asked everyone about. Something like this curve. This isn't too bad. We've got some incentive, as the wealthiest folks are now about 10 to 20 times better off than the poorest Americans. But hey, even the poor folks aren't actually poor, since the poverty line has stayed almost entirely off the chart. We have a super healthy middle class with a smooth transition into wealth. And yes, Republicans and Democrats alike chose this curve. 9 out of 10 people, 92%, said this was a nice, ideal distribution of America's wealth. But let's move on. This is what people think America's wealth distribution actually looks like. Not as equitable, clearly, but for me, even this still looks pretty great. Yes, the poorest 20 to 30% are starting to suffer quite a lot compared to the ideal, and the middle class is certainly struggling more than they were, while the rich and wealthy are making roughly 100 times that of the poorest Americans and about 10 times that of the still healthy middle class. Sadly, this isn't even close to the reality. Here is the actual distribution of wealth in America. The poorest Americans don't even register. They're down to pocket change, and the middle class is barely distinguishable from the poor. In fact, even the rich between the top 10 and 20 percentile are worse off. Only the top 10% are better off. And how much better off? So much better off that the top 2 to 5% are actually off the chart at this scale. And the top 1%, this guy, well, his stack of money stretches 10 times higher than we can show. Here's his stack of cash, restacked, all by itself. This is the top 1% we've been hearing so much about. So much green in his pockets that I have to give him a whole new column of his own because he won't fit on my chart. 1% of America has 40% of all the nation's wealth. The bottom 80%, 8 out of every 10 people, or 80 out of these 100, only has 7% between them. And this has only gotten worse in the last 20 to 30 years. While the richest 1% take home almost a quarter of the national income today, in 1976, they took home only 9%, meaning their share of income has nearly tripled in the last 30 years. The top 1% own half the country's stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. The bottom 50% of Americans own only 0.5% of these investments, which means they aren't investing. They're just scraping by. I'm sure many of these wealthy people have worked very hard for their money. But do you really believe that the CEO is working 380 times harder than his average employee?
All right. Gotta give you guys just a fucking,
Well, here's one for you.
That's the big secret that the billionaires don't want us to know of what actually is taking place in America.
You guys want to see Johnny's shocked face? Here's my answer. I make less than $19,000 a year, and I live okay.
Well, do you live in a major city, or do you live out in more rural area?
Well, I live in Iowa, but I live in a heavier populated part of Iowa. I live in what they call the Quad Cities. There's around 500,000 people here.
Okay.
But there's people that work at so I make that, yet the gas station employees that work the same amount of hours, they make about $3 an hour more than I do.
Yeah, I mean, so let me ask you this question. Thank you, Peter North, for showing up to the. Why are you okay with the crumbs that the people running the show have said that you should be getting? Why are you?
Oh, I didn't say I was okay with it.
Okay, well, you said you're living decent, so I mean, it didn't seem
Well,
like
when I say I'm living decent, I mean I'm not overwhelmed with debt on top of me. The only debt I have is medical debt. I don't have credit cards. I don't have car payment. The only payments I have is my rent, my utilities.
You still have medical debt. That's the
I
American
know.
dream.
Yeah, I know.
Let me guess, it's over 50 grand.
No, not even close.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, I literally all I have for debt is I have about $5,000 in debt for medical bills. I've lived really good on just using my resources as I can use them instead of I don't know how to say it, but using future resources I don't currently have.
When was the last time you took a vacation?
Starting yesterday. I work 4 days a week. I get a vacation every 4 days. I get 3 days in a row off.
No, I'm talking about a prolonged vacation of like weeks at a time. Like when was the last time you took 2 weeks off or a month off of work?
About 2 years ago.
Okay. You ever taken a month off of work?
Oh yeah.
Based where you went somewhere, like on holiday, like visiting somewhere for a month, or you just stopped working for a month?
No, I've actually went and stayed in Texas for a month. Took a month off in December, but I was working construction and it was layover season anyways. So,
well, I would argue that that's not that was not really a holiday. The point being is that Americans know nothing about. I mean, we get 2 weeks a year, and we get these again crumbs, and we're like, oh my God, this is great. Whereas the rest of the world's getting, a minimum of, 6 weeks.
Oh yeah. I mean, in the past, in the past 2 years, the longest amount of time I've had off of work was I had 2 weeks off at the beginning of the year last year when I got in a car accident and I was injured. And then I got a week off when my girlfriend passed.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying that, I mean, and when it comes to technology, why do we have diesel trains that have been around for 100 years and the rest of the world has, maglev trains that are doing 220 miles an hour? Anybody figured that one out yet? Oh yeah, the military industrial complex. We need to.
Well, I was going to say the oil barons won't get their money that way, Johnny.
Exactly.
Why do you think the guy that invented the water-fueled car just mysteriously died of a heart attack?
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
I would agree that America is on a fast track to not being a first world country. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying that I think as we're more in this global, the ability of social media to be able to see people doing stuff on YouTube in France, in Italy, in Greece, in Chile, in Japan. I just think that it's very eye-opening as an American being 55 years old, and the idea of this American dream being like, yeah, this is they've moved the goalpost.
They've been moving it ever since they tried to say they set it up.
Well,
right.
Yeah.
I mean, they've been moving it for the whole 40 years I've been alive.
Yeah.
And I don't remember anybody asking me if I really wanted to play.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the new version of the American dream is to be able to
See how much
save enough
shit you can
money.
accumulate before you die.
No, is to be able to get out of the U.S. and go live somewhere else.
Yeah.
I mean,
can see that.
even Mexico. I mean, I've watched so many videos of Americans that are living like down on the Yucatan and fucking and Puerto Vallarta over on the west. Like, I mean, in amazing fucking towns in Mexico, and they're like, I feel way safer here than I did in my city in America, and because of course we've been brainwashed that Mexico is nothing but a shithole and you're going to get beheaded. Yeah, you might in some of the border towns like Juarez and stuff like that, over the border from El Paso, obviously, but there's some really, really beautiful resorts in Mexico, and you can go down there and fucking live very inexpensively, and a lot of people are choosing that, especially people that have kids, because A, you're still in a similar time zone, and B, you're not living in Australia or New Zealand or in Europe or Africa or something. You're still technically you could drive from point A to point B. So yeah, I don't know. Just throwing that out there. I don't know. I'm just saying that I think Americans, Costa Rica. I've had a friend that spent a lot of time in Costa Rica, and he said it was just amazing down there, and you can live inexpensively, or go down there and retire and so forth. So I don't know. It's just I don't know. I don't know what happened. What happened to what? Is Pamela still here? She's been a capitalist apologist here for a while. So, and listen, I'm not saying that there's like some, utopia, like, oh my God, if you move to, do you guys understand that the country of Portugal has decriminalized drugs since 2001?
I didn't know that.
If you get caught with you get caught with an ounce of cocaine, there are no police involved. You are sent to a counselor who's like, hey, what's going on with you?
Why do you feel that you need this much?
Yeah, I mean, so.
No, really, let's have a talk. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually be a talk. Right.
And so they did what's called a harm reduction model. And of course, Americans are like, oh, well, Portugal only has, 12 million people or whatever the copy of America's got 330 million people. We could never do that here. And I was like, man, you guys have the script down.
Right.
Well, Americans need to learn that the war on drugs was nothing more than a war on the people.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you guys have seen the top Nixon guy and his quotes and how it was about black people and hippies and keeping them down, right?
Well, I had the judge look me straight in the face and say, "Hey, that pipe you got caught with in your pocket while you were walking down the side of the road, yeah, I'm taking your driver's license for 6 months."
Yeah.
But you want me to work and pay that fine? If I don't have a license, I don't have a job.
Yeah.
And enter the incarceration system.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, let's put it this way. If I'd have been caught with that pipe a month later when the state I live in went to a zero tolerance state, instead of it being a cite and release, I would have been immediately jailed that night.
Yep.
Over a plant.
Dude.
Not even that, over a glass pipe that was empty.
Yeah. Dude,
well, but
for the non-resonated pipe, just the paraphernalia alone.
Right.
Never been smoked out of, nothing.
Well, that's what I tell everybody when they leave the store that comes in. If they buy a pipe off of me, and I, when I wrap it up with the bubble wrap and all that, and I put that tape on it, I tell them straight up, listen, you're in the state of Iowa. If you break that seal before you get this home and you get pulled over with, say you go to your buddy's house and you're like, dude, check, or you see your friend in the mall and you're like, check this out, look what I just bought. And you break that seal and then you get in your car, you get pulled over on your way home, you get a paraphernalia charge. Even though it's never been used.
Let's listen to John Ehrlichman, who was one of Nixon's guys here. Listen to this quote from him.
1971 to silence Nixon's greatest opposition groups. Ehrlichman said, and I quote, "By getting the public to associate the hippies with marijuana and blacks with heroin, and then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt those communities and vilify them night after night on the evening news." I know. Now, look, guys, I just got to say,
one more time.
Ehrlichman said, and I quote, "By getting the public to associate the hippies with marijuana and blacks with heroin, and then criminalizing both heavily, we could disrupt those communities and vilify them night after night on the evening news."
Oh, come on. The news is not the propaganda machine, is it?
No.
Johnny, you're hurting my feelings here, man.
I know. Sorry.
The Matrix is, man, I stuck my finger in the mirror in the Matrix and it's coming alive.
I didn't want my brain to have to work tonight.
Man,
sorry to be Captain Obvious here of like, what the hell? Like, I mean,
right.
No, but listen, we have been so indoctrinated to like, oh, we're the greatest country in the world. We're America. We don't like, we'll bomb you to the Stone Age, and
look at our video games.
And listen, we have a military budget that exceeds a couple hundred countries combined. So, but
combined.
that's why we can't have nice things. Because we need to support these billionaires that are running the military-industrial complex.
Yeah, well, yeah.
See, Tommy Stock 64 nailed it right there. So it's illegal for me to possess it here, but I can drive 12 minutes away across the Mississippi River and walk into a dispensary and buy it all day long.
Tony C, debate John Flax on John Felix on socialism. No thanks. You guys can have capitalism. You guys can defend it all you want. You can have it. I'm not going to. I just don't think I'm going to. I don't think it's just a smart move to stick around to wait till the guillotines. But everybody's entitled to have their own experience, and that's cool. I mean, I'm not telling anybody what they should or shouldn't do. I'm just saying that my choice is going to probably be to bounce. So,
Make sure.
Who believes inflation is really corporate greed? Absolutely, Nancy. Corporations are posting record profits, yet the oil companies are gouging. You guys, I don't think you guys understand what the gas prices are like in California because we've got a lot more. The gas prices here are $5.55 a gallon for the cheap stuff. It's $6.50
this time of year. 2 years ago, what were you paying, Johnny?
I don't even remember. Nowhere near that.
I was going to say this time 2 years ago, I was getting gas for $1.20 a gallon here in Iowa.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, listen, the gas is always a lot more expensive here. We also don't have toll roads in California. So, I mean, it kind of a little bit of levels itself off here somewhere along the way. You know, yeah, exactly, Sherry. And the prices are definitely going to go up in the summertime. So it's we're almost in May, and so within the end of May, the prices are going to be going up. So, wait, I'm anti-capitalism. Yeah, you're on YouTube. So, dude, please, that's your best. That's the best you can do. So you think if I think that the air is polluted, I should stop breathing air too? I mean, what? I mean that just seems a little silly. I hope that gas goes to $20 a gallon, personally. That way there'll be something that then it'll break.
Yeah.
Then something will
Absolutely.
will something new will spawn from that. Yes. So
yeah.
Didn't California have low cost medical system before? No. Are you kidding me?
I didn't know that California had anything low cost.
They had
That's what I was thinking.
They had low cost education. Listen, all of my cousins went to like UC schools. They went to like, UC San Diego, UCLA, and because they were residents of California, they went for next to nothing in the 70s and the 80s.
Wow.
Now the people that run the world are like, oh wait, we can put you in a lifetime of crippling debt so that you're never going to be able to get out, and we can really control you.
Yes, sign me up.
Yeah, $9 a gallon for UK. Yeah, we're approaching that. There's gas stations in California that are $7.
No shit.
Yeah, the highest I've seen around here was $4.55 a gallon, and that was in Illinois.
So.
Yeah, gas prices have nothing. Everyone wants to blame the president, and when the gas prices went up when Trump was president, they were like, "Oh, Trump," and then when Biden, you guys don't understand. Here's one of the other things that really amazes me too is like, for those of you that are brand new here, like I'm a little bit more left leaning, let's say that. And my friends that are like, oh, the Clintons were on Epstein's private jet, and the Clintons were on Epstein's island. I'm like, yes. And Ghislaine Maxwell was at Chelsea Clinton's wedding, and yes, absolutely. And Donald Trump and everyone else if you think that both sides of the aisle were not on Epstein's plane and Epstein's island, you are delusional and you are a partisan hack. Both sides
that's what kills me.
Both sides of the aisle were on that island and on the plane doing horrific things to kids.
Nobody understands that the left wing and the right wing are on the same bird that shits on all of us.
Like I said, the best political cartoon I ever saw was it was the big fat old white guy that's at a round table. It's a dozen donuts. The CEO takes 11 donuts. There's a black guy and a white blue collar worker. And the CEO, there's one donut left. He's got 11. There's only one donut remaining. And the CEO turns to the white guy and he says, watch out, that black guy wants the last donut. So if you guys don't think that the billionaires are pitting the right and the left against each other, and the white, Latinos, and all the different races against each other to keep us distracted from who's really fleecing us, if I got to get you up to speed on that, then there may not be hope for you.
Right.
Trickle down economics?
Oh, that works great. That's like that fuzzy math, bro.
Dude, I shared a thing. There was a quote from Papa John's. You guys all know the CEO of Papa John's, right? Who's got the the $10 million compound, and he has a quote that says, "If we have excessive profits, we are under no responsibility to share that with our employees." That is trickle down economics debunked in one sentence. And if you see what's going on now, there are record profits in the stock market and with companies, global companies and U.S. companies, and yet we're still paying X amount at the pump and it's
For the privilege to drive.
Yeah.
Well, so here's how screwed up people are. There's a content creator, there's a few channels that have gotten together on this restoration of an old man's SUV they pulled out of the Sierra Nevada mountains that sat for 40 years. Well, these channels have somebody filming them as their crew because it's like a body shop crew, a tow crew, etc. And somebody went off on this channel today about, well, your employees aren't getting benefits from the money you're earning off of YouTube from this, right? And just went off on them about how you're making money off of your employees' backs and they're not getting their fair share. And I'm just sitting there going, and Walmart pays their employees $15 an hour while they rake in billions every couple months.
They're not paying their employees $15 an hour. Are you kidding me?
I've found several places where they're paying them $15 an hour.
That seems pretty high. I mean,
the gas stations here, Johnny, literally the gas stations here are hiring at $15 an hour and giving $17 an hour for third shift.
That's unbelievable.
It's fucking ridiculous.
I thought that most of the Walmart employees were on the county and being subsidized by the government because Wally World would not pay them a living wage. So, but listen, I stand corrected if it's different where you are.
Yeah, Walmart here is starting at, last I looked, Walmart here is starting at $14 an hour. And everybody's like, why don't you go get a job there? Because they'll turn me into their slave. I work for one guy and it's me and him split the shop.
Yeah.
But here's the thing though, is that even though they raise the minimum wage, they use the inflation to swipe it back away. So
right.
The number rises great, but
right. Yeah, the inflation rate is going beyond any amount of money you might have, any raise that you might have been given in the last couple of years.
Oh yeah, the $2 an hour raise that I was given at the beginning of this year when I became manager and our other employee left, it really only feels about maybe a 50-cent an hour raise.
Yeah.
Cost of everything going up. I mean, have you guys looked at the cost of a dozen eggs lately?
No.
How about an avocado?
How about avocado toast? Ramon lives in the EU. Ramon, you want to come on the panel and tell us what your thoughts are of the United States?
Our wonderful.
If you're just getting here.
Right, our glorious system.
I've been just talking about the end stage capitalism, and if you want to come on.
Man, he's over there looking at it like a bad,
Well, he woke up. It's 10:40. It's 10:41. It's 7:41 where he is.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna drop anyways. My phone's about dead. So
okay. Well, thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, no problems. Good talking to you guys. Peace.
All right, man.
Peace.
Anybody else from outside the United States would like to come on the panel and chime in?
Yeah. Most of my friends that, I've met through the interwebs and talked to them, it's quite interesting, to talk with them about anything, how shit works over here versus how shit works where they are.
Ramon, yes, I do want you to come. Dude, Ramon, I've been very gently putting America on blast of how this is not the ideal utopia that most Americans would pass a polygraph that it was. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we just watched some videos where Europeans were being told how much like an EpiPen costs, and they were being asked on the street of what they think the amount. I mean,
Childbirth.
$39 to hold your child, skin to skin contact, skin to skin bonding of a newborn child, $39. Yeah, exactly. A real problem. It's not capitalism. It's a monopoly or oligarchy. This isn't.
Yeah.
This is beyond capitalism, man. Capitalism was, all right. We have like I said, this is end stage. I mean, this is yeah.
This is the same shit there.
Same shit here. What, dude? What, in Europe? You've got it that you've got things are bad in Europe, or what? I'm not talking about like gas prices. I'm talking about like the work-life balance. Just the basics. Yeah.
Yeah, but
All
we'll
right.
be the first one to tell everybody else how to live.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, we hit the 2-hour mark.
Johnny, appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Friends and Code, thanks for being on here, man. And I just think that America can do better, and we're electing not to. And the people that are running the show are steering this ship right into the fucking rocky shoreline. Because they've got good seats, and when the water starts rushing onto the boat, they've got all the lifeboats and all of them, and we have none.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, he says work balance is way better than in the U.S. Yeah.
Oh, I think anything is better than the U.S. I mean, the idea that you can't get sick and you can't take time off, and it's just
it's
criminal. Oh yeah.
What is this you speak of?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, brother.
All right, man. Night. Thanks for being on here, man.
Yeah, bro. We'll do it again soon.
Okay, man.
Late.
Yep. All right, you guys. Thank you for being here, and I want to give a shout out to my friend Allie. This is my friend that does hair. I'm good friends with her and her husband up in the Bay Area. And she is a hairdresser up in the Bay Area. She has 143,000 subscribers on TikTok, and she's got 95 or so on YouTube. I'm trying to get her some subs over there. Also, you can go on a channel. I'm going to show you this. So you can go on here when you click on subscribe. So I'm going to unsubscribe. So when you click on subscribe, you can go under all. Personalized is the default, but you can go and click on none, so you never see a notification pop up for this channel. So this is a way that you can subscribe to people's channels and support them, but be like, dude, I don't really want to see this kind of content, although her content is fantastic. But there is that is the way that you can go and do this. So that's all copyrighted music. Yeah, she does amazing work, and she's a white girl, which Joe Cool was shocked. And I think everybody was like, yo, what's up, white girl? Yes, Marcy. Yeah, Marcy's a hairstylist. Yeah. All right, you guys. Go check her out. And the running joke with Allie is that I'm gonna get her up to speed on how to do YouTube. She's like, do I pay you anything? And I was like, no, but I will charge you for every comment that gets left. So Anastasia, you're a hairdresser as well. Go check out her channel. Let me where is her? Hold on. Here is her link. Oh, Joe Cool. I posted the Richard Pryor link. Wait, hold on a minute. I'm gonna. All right, hold on. We got it. We're gonna see this. We're gonna see this video. This is Richard Pryor breaking in, trying to rob the mafia. This is from the 80s, and it is still as funny. There's some profane language, so
I had a cap pistol. You know them blank starter pistols? I busted into the office with this motherfucker in my, all right, give me the money, motherfucker. Doing my best black shit, you know. You know, that shit usually scare Whitey to death. And these motherfuckers didn't do nothing. And I'm sure that those men are sitting in that room today laughing. Because that's what this dude, he just started laughing. This fucking kid. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, Tony, come here. Wait a minute, Rich, do the gun again. Hey, Tony, come here. Stick up. This fucking kid, come here, come here.
Yeah, unbelievable. That is unbelievable. Unbelievable. Dilbert, what's up? So yeah, go check out Allie. Go leave her a comment and like leave a $sign and be like, Johnny 50 says this is going to get really expensive. I told her I was going to charge her for every comment that anybody leaves that I send to her. So make sure you go over there and bust her chops. She is super sweet. Her husband is also super sweet. They are amazing, amazing human beings. And Allie is super talented. And so, yeah. Yes. So that's it. Did you check out her stuff and let me know what you think, Marcy and Anastasia or anybody else that's in the business? It looks like some pretty wild stuff. Weird, wild stuff. Yes, cha-ching. Awesome, Polyglocks. Charles Murray, thank you from Canada. Okay, Charles Murray, I'm going to tell you a little Rush story. You know Rush. I don't know if you know Rush is my favorite band. I was living my dream selling cookware at Costco's. Johnny, what do you want to be when you grow up? You want to be a policeman? You want to be a fireman? You want to walk on the moon? No, I want to sell cookware inside of Costco's, including Canada. So I'm working in Barrie, which for those of you that are unfamiliar, Barrie is about 45 minutes due north of Toronto. And I get in my rental car and I turn on the local radio, whatever rock station it is, and I hear Lakeside Park by Rush, which is off their fly-by-night. I don't think I have ever heard Lakeside Park on American radio ever. And it was just one of those moments where I was like, I am in the motherland. I am in the motherland, and I just heard Lakeside Park come over the radio. I mean, they're playing like Loverboy and all sorts of Canadian. I mean, it was amazing of all of the Canadian acts that I heard. It was really fantastic. So, yeah. Cool. All right, you guys. Don't eat, dude. You know what? You were in my good graces, Lenny, briefly. I think Lenny should flirt with Sarah Tay some more. Sarah Tay's got to be exhausted. Yeah, I don't drink, Joe Blow, but you can buy me a Starbucks Nitro Cold Brew. Exactly. Bant. All right, you guys, thanks for being here. Appreciate all of you guys, and love you. Thanks so much for being here.